All right, let's go. Morning, guys. Morning, Triad. How was your day trading yesterday? Yeah, I can review that here since I didn't make a recap. There was a hot stock. I wasn't able to hold on to my profits. I was going for a bigger trade, and then I ended up fumbling the bag. I was up about 800. I think it was DTSS. So I was up about 800 on this stock. I had 1,000 shares right out of the opening push, made 450 bucks. I wasn't stuck in the halt. We opened lower. We got the nice dip in the rip set up, and we held this area. Once we curled and broke out, I actually kind of let this breakout go without me because I thought it was really risky. I thought we'd potentially see a false breakout since we were still very extended. We're just up so much, but it still ended up working out. And then I made the rest of my profits here on this dip down here, buying like 500 shares. Got a nice $1 a share. I was up 800 something dollars. And then I was just a little bit way too aggressive getting in at 15. It topped out at 15. I got in for the break of 15 and then it pulled back like $1 a share on like 1,000 shares. And I was able to get out for like a $500 or $600 loss. Or I think I tried twice and I think I had two $250 losses. And I ended up giving back majority of my gains. So I was up only like 250, and then I kind of scalped my way back to 300, and I just finished up 300. It's a decent day. I mean, I'm not complaining, but I did have my fair share of mistakes in this area, and the spreads were just so bad. I was just getting really frustrated with the spreads. I felt like every time I would hit that market order, I was getting filled on the ask for the buy, and then on the sell I was getting filled in the bid. And so I feel like my accuracy was quite crappy yesterday. But we can take a look. Here's the calendar. So yeah, 299.24. And I can pull this up. Yeah, so look, my accuracy 47%. I could tell I was just not in the flow. Like I was not getting really good fills. And that's just going to be, from time to time, you're just going to get some stocks that are just not going to be good fills for whatever reason. And, I was taking 10, 20, 30 cent losses on my scratch trades. Sometimes I'd even be in the right areas for a dip buy, and the price would react, and it should have been a green trade, and I would be selling on the bid for still a small loss or break even. And it was just super frustrating. But that's what's going to happen from time to time. You can try to pivot if you want to do limit orders, but for me, using limit orders, a lot of the times I'm not getting filled. Even if I do have an offset, a lot of times I'm not getting filled, and my trading is actually a little bit slower. And sometimes the entries are so fast that I don't have time to I can't wait another second to get filled, or else it ruins my strategy. But, I'm not going to complain. I can give you the running P&L for yesterday. But DTSS was a tough one. It was not easy. Maybe pre-market for you guys, but yeah, look at my intraday. I can pull this up here on the big one. But up, right out of the gates, up about 460 bucks. Making my way up to 600, taking a decent loss there, and then making it back and more, up 830 bucks. And then just in like 2 or 3 trades, man, all the way back down to 250, and then scalping my way back to 299. So, a little bit of a rough day, but, I wasn't up that much. I was up 800, it was still a solid day, but it's not like I was up 2,000 and gave back to like 200. In that scenario, I would be pretty more frustrated because that just shouldn't have happened. Usually my rule is if I give back half of my gains off the top, I'm usually sizing down. I'm usually sizing down to protect the profits that I have on the day, because if I go red, if I go from solid green to red, I am more likely to sit here and just keep trading and trading to try to get back green so I can feel better about myself. And then I'll end up going deeper red and feeling more shitty about myself, and I'll end up spiraling out of control. So it's important to know when to let off the gas a little bit. But, sometimes I'll, get back half my gains, and it was just an anomaly, just one mistake. And then I'm able to, let's say I go back to small size, let's say I'm able to make back a quarter of that. And then I'm like, okay, you know what? Let's risk that, what I just made, into another big trade. And then, I'm back to the highs. So sometimes that does happen. But, for me to just immediately react and go continue big size, even though I'm losing, that's not good. You can't strong arm the market. You can never strong arm the market. The market will win every time. So, if you're going through a streak of, losing, it's important that you, reassess your day, reassess your expectations, reassess your strategy for the day. Maybe you're doing something wrong. Maybe there's something that you need to change. But yeah, good morning, everyone. Let's take a look here for the day on the scanner. So we had DTSS off the lows. I mean, I kind of like that it is holding up this support from the previous highs, but we're still quite a ways off of the all-time highs here at 20. So maybe, maybe we can see some range trades in this area where I make my money. My strategy does very well at the open. So, but at the open yesterday, a lot of things were popping up, and I was getting a little bit confused, or like my head was spinning because everything was just moving. I didn't know what to focus on. And I was actually looking at my live trading. I was flipping back through different stocks, not knowing what to trade. Everything's moving. You can get a little bit flustered with FOMO, but if it's a hot market, you always have to remember that the opportunities are going to be in abundance. So if you keep that abundance mindset, you'll be able to kind of keep calm, cool, and collected, even though you're missing a lot of good moves, because the best thing you could do in that moment is to just focus in on the best stock of the day and focus on the next setup that is coming. It's not going to do you well if you're just going to be, flustered because you missed a big move. That's not going to serve you well. What's going to serve you is that knowing that it's a hot market, and maybe you missed that move, but in a hot market there's an abundance of opportunity, and you only need 2 or 3 good opportunities a day to make a crap ton of money. If you can nail 2 or 3 good opportunities, you can make, depending on your size, you can scale it from a couple hundred to a couple thousand to, I've seen, tens of thousands. So you don't need to hit every move. You don't need to hit every move, and you shouldn't try to hit every move. You just want to, hit enough, to get a good solid day, and then think about, maybe easing off or waiting for another A+ opportunity. But yeah, it's not good to get FOMO, but that usually comes with experience. But DTSS looks like it had another news at 9 a.m. Looks like we posted news again. DataC announces 30 million 5G multimodal communication technology service agreement. Wow. Okay, so we have fresh news. We have fresh news after yesterday. So this is great. We could see, a potential move here on DTSS if it's strong enough. If there's somebody buying. I mean, day traders like me aren't going to be able to push this from $10 to $20 for a breakout. We just don't have that buying power to really push it that much. But, you know, if there's another whale, if there's a whale still looking at this, when they were buying, let's say that whale was buying this from 1 to 20, and it caused it to go from 1 to 20. If that whale is still looking at the stock, thinking that, okay, we just had fresh news, maybe we should push the stock higher, or maybe there's opportunity, at the highs, where we can squeeze out short sellers, and have an explosive move. That's possible. If they're still interested in this, then maybe we could see it back up at the highs. But day traders like us, we don't have that firepower to really move it that much, at least from 10 to 20. But we'll see. If the whales are still interested, then DTSS could still be a great opportunity. And even if not, you can probably find some good range trades in this area. So DTSS still on the scanner here, still on the watch list. JXJT is another one that I was looking at. JXJT looks like no news. We can take a look at the dilution tracker. All right, JXJT, 5 million share float. Let me pull this up here. So 5 million share float right up here. Let's see if we have news on it. No recent news, so that's not good. Cash position looking pretty crappy. Looks like they don't have any registered convertible yet. So it looks like there's no offerings also registered either. So this could be potential. They're already make a big move, sub 670%. Yeah, good job, Morgan. Awesome job. Very nice. Great to see. You had a great move here on JXJT. Maybe we couldn't capitalize from 5 in the morning, but from 8:30, you had a move from 5 to 10:50. Very nice. Someone's calling out SOUN. Let's pull that up. So JXJT on the scanner, but I'm not sure if I'm interested in this. We do see a lot of topping tails at the highs here. Volume profile still kind of light. In some areas, we did have some decent volume, 400,000, 300,000, but it's not consistent. And we're in that area. I feel like we're in that area where it's like we're up so much. We're just up so much. And how much higher can this go? We're already, what is this, all-time, or not all-time highs, but I mean, I don't know. We don't have any news on it. We're up $10. Maybe we can see clear out of these highs. Maybe. I'm not sure though, because we're up so much. We're up so much. Maybe if we see a clear out of these highs, these topping tails. Maybe. But it's risky. Definitely risky. I would want to see this to hold up a range, a consolidation at the open, and then a curl. But it doesn't have any news, so it's a little bit sketchy. SOUN, let's see, SOUN. The problem with SOUN is the float is 169 million shares. So it's a little bit of a larger float stock. So it's going to move a little different. And this is not something that I usually trade just because the range is a little bit tight. If it does start to open up, I would consider trading it, but it is not one of my main stocks that I want to be watching just because the float is 169 million shares. So it's a huge supply. So a huge supply means you need a crap ton of demand to make the similar move that you'd see in a small cap. Did we already go over DXF? No, we did not go over DXF. This one's up 260%. 260%. Okay, very nice. Let's see here. I do not see anything on the news. DXF, let's check the float. DXF, 2.6 million share float. So, Mo, you might be looking at the shares outstanding instead of the float. Unless, I'm not sure where you're getting that information. But DXF is showing me a 2.64 million share float on dilution tracker. Let me check FinViz in case you're checking FinViz. Sometimes it's not accurate though. Yeah, so 2.36 million share float. So right around, 2 to 3 million share float. So very nice. And you're saying product of the street saying 5 million. Okay, yeah. So yeah, so I mean it's low enough, 5 million, same thing. So I do like it that we don't have, we do have a registered shelf offering. But that was registered in 2022. Are they gonna pull it today? I'm not sure. Convertible note not registered. News, let's see. No recent news. So another stock with no recent news. That always keeps me a little wary, but it is up, and we've seen moves, happen without news. The only thing is this is going to be another stock that we've been seeing with these tight halt bands, because any stock that has closed the previous day under 75 cents is going to be a very, very tight halt band. So, and after it breaks over $1, it's going to be able to hit those halt bands so fast, because the range may be wide, but it's going to hit the halt band and the lower halt band so fast, and it's going to be very hard to trade. So DXF may not be the one for me. I don't like trading around halts. We've been seeing a lot of halts where we would halt up and it was looking great, and then we would resume lower. And I just don't like to be part of any of that shenanigans. And also, you get the halt up, you go for the first pullback, it ends up halting down and then opening dollars a share lower, and you're taking a fat loss. Where, previously, if, we weren't seeing that halt action, you might be able to cut the loss for break even. So, halt trading is just not my cup of tea when we have these very tight halt bands. So DXF, again, because we closed under 75 cents yesterday, the halt bands are going to be tight. And you can get there is an equation to calculate the exact halt band to expect, which I can pull that up if you want. Let's see here. I know, let me see here. I am going to post this. This is very important information to know. If I can find the right link. It's under sec.gov, maybe. Halt trading rules, maybe. Maybe Investopedia. I forget, there was a link that was super clear. The exact, maybe FINRA? Trading halts in NASDAQ listed stocks. Trading halt codes. No. I might have to find this another time. What time is it? 9:15. I think it's on this website here. I'm looking here on FinViz if you want to take a look. So I was at, maybe it's under regulation. SEC, halts. Trading halts, circuit breakers, okay. So this is a list of the halts. Halt history, limit up, limit down, FAQ. Okay, here it is. Perfect. I found it. Let me get rid of that. So this is the, I need to post, I'm going to post this file here in the Discord just so you guys all have a copy of this. So this is very good information to know, especially if you're trading small caps, is because you're going to be trading around halts. You know, it's going to be very hard to avoid halts. So you're going to have to be able to, know this, because small caps, there's halts all the time. With even large priced small caps, low priced small caps, you're going to be, there's no way you can avoid them. So it's good to know what's going on with these halts. So you can get, the definition of the limit up, limit down. When does it go in effect? Let's see, differences between different types of halts. When does it take effect? So that's why we don't see halts pre-market. So we never see halts pre-market. We only see halts after the open, and that's just called, it's just usually a volatility high volume halt, volatility band. So this is where you can get your different halts, based on the price of the stock. So any stock that's previous closed over $3, we have a price band of 5%, 5% of the price. I think up or down. This is for tier 1 though. Tier 1 securities. So tier 2, 10%. Tier 1 and tier 2, so 75 cents to $3 is 20% halt bands, and anything under 75%, like we were saying, is 15 cent, no less than 15 cent halt bands. So that's so tight. So the minimum or the smallest you can see is 15 cents. This is probably what we're going to see on DXF, or 75% of the price, or the lesser of. So, it can be, and there's also a time period where the halt band is, so between, so you do have, 5-minute halts, 10-minute halts, then it goes to 15-minute halts, and then it is 30-minute halts. Or maybe there's a 20-minute halt in there. I'm not sure, but there's a lot of good information here. I still have yet to read through this full thing. I should probably reread it, because it sounds like I need to brush up on my halt knowledge. I only know the basics, but there's definitely a lot more that I could brush up on here. And I know, at the open, I think at the open there's a certain time period, 5 or 10 minutes, where the halts are a little bit more wider, just for the first 5 or 10 minutes. And then after that 10 minutes, it starts to go back to a normal halt, like a halt distance. So I'm going to post a link there in the Discord for you guys. Also, if you're not already involved in the Discord, it's a free community. You should be getting involved. So let's get this downloaded here. I'll add it under the resources channel for you guys after my trading session. But the rest of the scanner, I'm seeing CHNR. Someone's calling out NNOX. Very nice. NNOX does have news on it, I think. Let's see here. SoundHound. Okay, so SoundHound is SOUN. So that's why that's moving. So it's because NVIDIA discloses a stake in these companies. So NVIDIA buys, let's see how much they bought. They owned 1.7 million shares of SoundHound, which is SOUN, but that's a larger float, so it's not going to move as much. And they owned 75. No, that's still SoundHound. NVIDIA holds $59,000 of NNOX, or 59,000 shares. Sorry, 59,000 shares. So that's going to push the stock price probably. Whenever you see a bigger company, disclosing interest or either ownership or interest or a deal or any sort of partnership with a smaller company, specifically a small cap, they tend to make some decent moves. So, NNOX was a possibility. Let's take a look here at the dilution tracker. I think this will be the last one that I have on watch list. Now we're getting close to this. Jesus, it's got a large float, 52 million share float. So this one might act a little bit different than what I'm used to. But we'll keep it on the scanner. If it does happen to, move, then I'll trade it. Let's see, IFBD. IFBD. No news on it. Volume profile weak. Only gapping 38%. CHNR, let's see. CHNR, if we can get over 4, I'd be interested. But we don't have any news on this. Also a China stock, so I'm not sure. I think my main watch here, DXF maybe? No, this is the one with the tight halt band. Damn, I think the only one that looks decent here, it might be JXJT. And it's up already 700%. I mean, we did see DTSS, so pre-market, this day it was up, pre-market it was up already 500%. And it continued another 400% after that. So, it's not impossible to see JXGT continue, but the risk is always there. I mean, the daily chart, we're up at the highs. Let's see the 200 EMA. 200 EMA is at 268 on the daily chart. On the 3-year chart or the weekly chart is $14.81. So we got, we have some room. I think I'm going to be watching JXJT, and if there's something else that has better volume and that's moving better, I'll shift. But for right now, I'm going to be watching JXJT. All right. Let's see here. Let me just add this here. Oh, we got it up. See if this works. Okay, so I did post a link there in the resources page for the halt information. I encourage you guys to just read that through. It's right here under the resources, under halt trading information there. So thank you guys for tuning in here for the pre-market pump. Right now we're watching JXJT. Maybe we can see this hold up in this area and see a curl. But I'm open to anything else popping up. I'm going to keep it, I'm not going to be blazing, my share size, just gunning my share size at the open. I'm going to look to get a cushion and then see what happens from there. We have been seeing some decent moves, so I would be, open to, pushing it a little bit harder today if I am, if I'm in the driver's seat on the day. If I'm in the driver's seat on the day, I'll push it. But if I'm going sideways or I'm struggling, I'm just gonna, keep it easy. But Hit that thumbs up button here for me on the way out. If you're new, consider subscribing, and I will catch you guys in the next one. All right, see ya. Good luck.